Repetitive, strenuous, begonium. No, I'm not Harry Potter. I'm just using this magical little wand here, which might be part of your suite of solutions for repetitive strain injury, carpal tunnel syndrome, wrist pain and hand pain that you may be getting as a result of using your mouse at work or at home. This little wand here sits inside the Ergo Slider Plus, which is from Bakker Elkhuizen. This is a really nice central mouse with a load of features which enables you to stop using that mouse which might be causing you some issues. So how do you use it? Well, this central bar here, it moves your mouse up and down and left and right. You can also click it here as well. You've got a left mouse button and a right mouse button. Copy and paste functions which you can switch around if you want to, depending on left and right handed. This scroll wheel in the middle as well is great for scrolling up and down pages, and there's a double click if you press on that scroll wheel. Also, if you get to the end of the screen, it registers and you can just press a little bit further and that will take your mouse cursor all the way to the end of the screen. And then we've got a nice, soft, comfortable wrist pad here if you're in need of some wrist support whilst you're working. So all in all, it's got a lot of features in one compact central mouse feature. But what does it fit with? Let's go and have a look. Over here, we have an Ultraboard 960 keyboard, which is a standard width keyboard. And you'll see there here that the Ergo Slider fits very well with one of those. That's a great way of saving yourself all of this desk space here that would normally be taken up with a mouse mat and a mouse, and it avoids you using a mouse in ways that might be causing you those wrist injuries. So it just sits there. So if you're short of space, fantastic. If you're having wrist problems, fantastic. And you'll notice here that it's really comfortable and easy to use as my wrists and hands rest here towards the keyboard. As for connectivity, you'll see here this is a standard USB. It's also USB-C compatible for more modern computers, so it works with whatever computer you're having, and it's just plug and play. You simply plug the cable in and you're good to go. So I've recommended a few of these over my time with various users, and one thing that I find is that in the very short term, for the first 1, 2, 3 days, those people who are getting used to this do find it a little difficult to get used to, because we've got that mind-body reaction going in when we're usually using our mouse, and it just takes a little bit of time to get used to using this here. It's an 800 dpi sensor, 800 dots per inch, so it's very sensitive and you can't go flinging it about all over the place. But normally after 1 or 2 days you get really used to it, and those users, I think about 90–95% of them who I've had trial these, usually very happy indeed with the way that it helps them in terms of their wrist pain and arm pain. So I'm focusing here on how it's beneficial to people who struggle from wrist and arm pain, but remember as well, if you're in a small environment, this is a really nice way of doing rid of that mouse and of that mouse pad as well. You might be thinking, well, why don't I just use the trackpad on my laptop? Well, the trackpads on the laptop are quite small, they're not very accurate. I find they do irritate my fingers after a time of use. And also, if you're using one of those flat on a desk, chances are you're using your laptop flat on the desk with the screen down there, which is going to be causing you some bad posture. And also, the keyboards on laptops are never as good as a full-size or normal keyboard, which is specially designed for the role. So it's usually a good idea to have a separate keyboard and mouse from a laptop, no matter what you're doing or where you're going. As for build quality, it's got all the usual great build quality from Bakker Elkhuizen. It's not going to go wrong anytime soon. They usually have a really good guarantee with these as well. You'll notice here that this wand here, that's really nice, good action there, and a good clicking of the buttons. Really nice soft support there for the wrist rest. I have noticed with some central mousing devices that the wrist rest can come loose over time. We've never noticed that with the Ergo Slider Plus, which is great. Here it's quite stylish. If you look at the bottom of it in yellow and grey, but really you're only ever going to be looking at the top of it there. I would say in terms of cons, things that I struggle with this, it is wired, so it's not so great for, you know, if you're throwing stuff in your laptop bag and traveling around, maybe you're a sales rep or something like that. But if you're desk-based, it's really handy. And the cable there, you can adjust from the left-hand side to the right-hand side using these runners along here, which means that you can set it on either side of your keyboard without it getting in the way at all, because most keyboards are wired anyway. And you'll have your cable running over to wherever it goes. It's a 1.4 meter length cable. Some cables are longer, some are shorter, so it's about average in terms of cable length. If you're using a sit-stand desk, you might find it slightly easier to have a USB hub so that you've got more reach when you're raising or lowering your desk. I'm of average height here, and you'll notice for me here the cable would just about get to my PC down there, but if you're a taller user you would want to use some sort of hub in relation with that. So cable apart, absolutely fine, really nice build quality, really easy to use after a 1 or 2 day period. It's got pretty much all of the functionality of a standard mouse. You can drag, drop, click, double click, copy, paste, scroll without having to go through and either grab that annoying little bar at the side of the screen that you're trying to find, because nowadays they make them so small, trying to find that to move the page up and down, or having to use your middle finger constantly like that trying to roll the mouse wheel on the mouse. This just makes it so much easier in so many ways. I really like that central button there for scrolling, because you can just scroll it really easily with your thumb. So if you want to try one of those out, you can get them from various retailers, ProstaStars included. Fantastic way of checking out if a central mouse is going to resolve some of the issues that you're having with wrist pain and hand pain, or if you're short of space.